Namaste. Welcome to the beginning of another live Sangha. I'm grateful to be here. I trust you are as well as you can be in this moment, despite whatever circumstances may be going on for you. I'd love to hold space for whatever you're going through. If you want to share it, of course, you're always welcome to. I hope to be here for you in whatever capacity that I can. If there are any difficulties in your life at this moment, know that this too shall pass. But our Sangha is just beginning. Our first guests are arriving. Namaste, dear Sky Guardian. I'd like to start with an invocation. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May the Divine protect us both together. May the Divine nourish us both together. May our studies be vigorous and effective, and may we not mutually dispute or hate any. Om. May there be peace in us, may there be peace in our environment, and may there be peace in the forces that act on us. Namaskaram, dear Ragnhildur. Hello, Melissa. Hello, dear Chaotic. Caitlin. Elisa V. Hello, Kenji. And thank you, Ragnhildur, for sharing the live. I welcome you all with a warm heart. In this space, I hope to emphasize unity. In spite of our diversity, may we come together as fellow students of life to uplift each other, relate in one another's experiences, and share positive sentiments. How are you doing, dear Kenji? And thank you, Tatuamasi, for your quintet of roses, starting us off today. I'm always grateful for you here. Jai Nisargadatta Maharaja. You're tired but good, Kenji. Relatable. If you have any experiences that you want to share since last time, all of you, you're welcome to. Any insights or just how you're feeling, how your day has gone thus far. And if you're new, you're welcome to introduce yourself, where you're from. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Kenji. Thank you up the freeway for your heart me. Hari Om Tat Sat. Dearest Arthur, thank you for your octet of roses. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear Paige. I hope to create a relaxing space for us all today. I feel there's a lot of things moving in the world right now. Ideas, movements, thought forces, emotions. May we hold space for that to coexist and come to rest here. But I'll always encourage open sharing. Anything on your mind, you're welcome to. We'll have a whole section in our Sangha dedicated to that soon, called Manana, Sanskrit for the second stage of understanding. But we'll begin with Shravana, Sanskrit for the first stage of understanding, which is listening. I'd love to listen to you all, and then I'd love to listen with you as we read another section from this book, The Journey Home. You have a question, dear Cassie? Welcome, dear Corinne, plant TikToker. Dearest Kenji, you wish you could show me a video you took of the snow plains here. They're so beautiful. Well, may it be so. There's a show and tell section linked in the link tree in my bio. I have a submission form if you ever want to share things, and we can highlight them in the live streams too. Hello, Socks. You hope everyone who reads this can achieve their dreams this year. Thank you for sharing that intention with us all. Lovely to have a beautiful soul like you here too, dear T-Dog. Hello, Astrid. And hello, dear Jan. And thank you for your heart-made quintet of roses. Om Dum Durgaya Namaha. May this be an all-inclusive space for us to connect with each other. Share interests in the beauty of nature, for example. We didn't get any snow here this year yet. Sometimes we go through a year where I live and we don't get any snow. I live in Canada, which is extra funny. You might expect Canada to be covered in snow all year round, but I live in a funny place in Canada that almost never gets snow, which is southern tip of Vancouver Island. Hello, dear Moon Glue. Hello, dear Tamia and Seth, and thank you, Tamia, for your likes. I think it's an appropriate time to continue where we left off in our book. I have to switch scenes quickly. There. There's our book. Just wanted to show the cover in case anyone was wondering what we're reading while we're reading. Alright, today we're listening to the 5th chapter together of The Journey Home. May this reading relax your mind and awaken their heart. Although it is a spiritual book, which ultimately leads to certain realization of peace, our author is still very much in a part of their journey which is full of chaos, so there might be some themes that are hectic. We'll go through them gently together. Let's dive right into it. At Heraklion, the northern port in Crete, I found a fisherman willing to take me by boat to Athens. Once aboard, I sat apart to gaze into my sea. My mind tossed like the waves. I could not fathom what the days ahead would bring. Here I was, 19 years old, and I had never even met a person from India. Aside from knowing that India lay to the east, I had no real idea where it was or how far. I didn't even have a map. According to what I had learned in school, India was a sprawling mass of poverty, disease, overpopulation, and snake charmers. Later, while searching for clues that might unravel life's deepest mysteries, I learned that many regarded it as the land of religion, a place of yogis and great holy people. Would I live to meet these rishis, these great seers, and not as a tourist or sightseer, but as a seeker of truth? Once back in Athens, I found myself in an avalanche of negativity. To get to India, I learned I had to pass through Turkey. Travelers who had been to Turkey warned me about Istanbul. Quote-unquote, the Istanbul black market is bloodthirsty. They'll promise you a high price for a blood donation, but in reality, they'll tie you down, drain all the blood from your body, and then throw your corpse into the Black Sea. Another chimed in, the ghettos of Istanbul are havens for criminals so vicious they'll think nothing of killing you for a single lira. Determined to go, I stopped my ears against these grisly tales. At the youth hostel, I inquired about the overland route to India. Once again, a group of Europeans gathered around to dissuade me. "Don't you read the papers? Are you mad?" Someone else shook an English newspaper in my face. "Turkey stricken by cholera epidemic." The headline read, "You can't reach India without traveling across Turkey." Yes, Turkey was being ravaged by an epidemic of cholera. It was the news all over Europe, and to think I wanted to hitchhike across that country, maybe I was mad. Among these doomsayers, I met two young men who, like me, intended to travel overland to India. Jeff, an American from San Diego, was in his early 20s, tall and athletically built with a square jaw and sturdy nose. His blonde hair, neatly parted on one side, reached almost to his shoulders, and his blue eyes peered from behind black-rimmed spectacles. Although his features were rugged, he was a peace-loving soul. Like me, he was traveling to India on a spiritual search. Unassuming and fun-loving, he was one of the most likable people I had encountered. Pardon me. Ramsey, an Australian with a ruddy complexion and rust-colored hair in his mid-30s, was a seasoned traveler. Although streetwise and tough, he too was a gentle soul, and, having already hitchhiked across Europe and Asia, had maturity and wisdom that we lacked. Although I introduced myself as Richard, the band of travelers was tight enough that I was already known as Monk, and that's what Jeff and Ramsey called me. Among us, only Jeff had any money. Breaking into a huge smile, he said, "Hey guys, there ain't much here, but whatever I have is yours." He swung his arm into his backpack and pulled out some bread, sesame butter, spinach, tomatoes, olives, and feta cheese. With the excitement of an overgrown child, he prepared a delicious feast for us and served it out into 3 equal portions. Sinking his teeth into the sandwich, he took a huge bite and, chewing, said, "After this, we'll have to really rough it, guys, all right?" Ramsey and I nodded, savoring the sandwiches. It was there in the lobby of the youth hostel that the 3 of us solemnized our pact to traverse the overland trail to India. We went to the Turkish embassy to see if the borders were crossed. "Borders open," they boasted. We returned the next day to pick up our visas. To reach Turkey, we hitchhiked north up the coast of Greece to the biblical city of Thessalonica, and then to the east of Kipi, the northeastern point in Greece. Days later, we went by without a single ride. Still, we managed to draw closer to the border, which was the bridge between Europe and Asia, and the major gateway to Europe for smugglers of cannabis and heroin from the Middle East and Southeast Asia. The border post sat far from any town. We walked for hours to a desolate, dusty outpost where the road ended. A foreboding steel fence blocked our path. Topped by swirls of barbed wire, it stretched as far as my eyes could see. Greek soldiers stood in front, armed with automatic weapons. Approaching a nearby soldier, Ramsey asked, "Where is immigration?" The soldier pointed to a simple shack near the wall of fencing. No one was there, and evening was approaching. Now what? We had already resolved to press ahead. Even so, the only responses to our repeated inquiries were indifference, irritation, and incomprehension. Finally, one young soldier who had been watching us disappeared. A few months later, the Greek immigration official came out from a tall tea stall that, until then, we had not noticed. He was a stout, round-bellied man with a thick mustache, and his military shirt looked to be a size too small for him. Wiping the corner of his mouth with a towel, he handed it to the young informant and peered at us. "What do you want?" he asked. Ramsey coolly responded, "We want to cross the border to Turkey." The round-bellied man looked at us in disbelief. "Not possible. Borders are closed. Cholera is raging like fire in Turkey. No sane man will go there now." "But the embassy told us it was open," Jeff blurted out. "We want to. Do you know what a cholera epidemic is?" The official, his face bristling with anger, shouted, "If I let you through that gate, you cannot return. This border is closed for entrance." He pointed east toward the darkening sky. "Out there is a no-man's land." Narrowing his eyes, he added, "Do you know what you'll find there? A wilderness filled with poisonous snakes and hungry wolves, a desert with no food or water." Before he could say another word, Jeff cut in again. "But why would the embassy in Athens tell us it's open? We already paid and were promised entry." The veins of the officer's neck bulged. Pointing his finger, he shouted, "The Turkish border is closed. If you walk through that gate, you'll never return. Do you hear me? I advise you to go back to where you came from. I'm leaving in 2 minutes. Make up your mind now." The sun was about to set. We had struggled for days to reach the border. Hastily, we blurted out, "We'll go to Turkey." Outraged, the man ordered the military to swing open the gate. As we passed through it, he shouted his prediction, "Fools, you'll never return." Soldiers stood with rifles in hand as the steel gate slammed shut behind us. We inched forward. The quote-unquote no-man's land was indeed the most desolate place I had ever seen, a deserted wilderness used as a buffer between two inimical countries. The sun was setting. At a distance, I saw a snake slithering across the parched soil. A few leafless trees stood like sentinels marking our passage. It became darker and darker. Ordinarily, this was a somewhat common passage for travelers, but on that night, thanks to the epidemic and the Greek border being closed, it was utterly deserted. We were especially vulnerable, as it was dark and we were traveling by foot. I noticed the dry bones of some sort of a skeleton lying about 30 feet to our left, but dared not to bring the sight to any of my companions' attention. Anxiety gnawed at my insides. What if the Turkish border really was closed? The embassy told us it was open, but that had been a week ago. Would we be trapped in this no-man's land to die? The darkness and the cold intensified. Wolves howled intermittently, piercing the silence, and we crept ahead. I remembered how a shopkeeper in Athens had warned me that this stretch of land was full of unexploded mines buried during the time of the Greek Civil War. Mines that could rip your leg right off, he had said, and plant pieces of your shoe right in the stump. I shuddered and stepped gingerly ahead, praying at every step. None of us dared to speak a word. The 4-kilometer trek through pitch darkness was like a walk through the valley of death. Shivering, I felt hopeless and sick. Just as it seemed the night would never end, a glimmer of light appeared in the distance. Hastening forward, we made out a fence of steel beams topped by barbed wire. In the center, bolted on the gate, was a Turkish flag made of metal. We quickened our pace. An armed soldier stood guard inside, puffing on a filterless cigarette. Ever cool-headed, Ramsey whispered, "Let me handle this." He drew his passport from his pouch and coughed to draw the attention of the guard. When the guard looked up, Ramsey displayed his passport, pointing to us and then to the grounds beyond. The man was disinterested. He shouted 2 words, "Border closed." "But sir, you have to let us in, or we'll die. The Greeks won't let us back." "Border closed." A cloudy vapor burst from his mouth, accentuating the 2 harsh words. With nowhere to go, we felt like prisoners pleading for mercy, but there would be no mercy from this gatekeeper. His entire English vocabulary consisted of 2 words, border and closed. He crushed the stub of his cigarette under his boot heel and stomped away into the darkness. 20 minutes later, he returned to find us still standing like refugees outside the gate. Gesticulating, he exploded into a litany of banishments. Border closed, border closed, border closed. I wondered if he might shoot us. Just then, his superior officer came to the scene. Apparently, he had been educated in the same school. Border closed. Silently, we held our ground. Finally, our desperation and unwillingness to turn back convinced the second gatekeeper, and he relented. Corralling us into a wooden shack, he confiscated our belongings, including our passports, money, and even the clothes off our backs, then locked the door and abandoned us. Standing nearly naked in the freezing cold, we wondered if we were better off here, if we were any better off than we had been moments before in no man's land. What now? Had he left us there to die? For about half an hour we stood shivering in our underpants, as much from suspense as from the cold in that makeshift prison. Finally our jailer returned. He peered into our faces, returned our clothes, stamped our passports, and broke into a smile. "Welcome to the great country of Turkey," he said. Deeply shaken, we crossed over into a whole new world. So ends the 5th chapter of the journey home, with our protagonist making his way slowly but surely to the holy land of India. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to exploring how this journey unfolds with you next time. Namaste. That concludes our Shravana portion. Now we can turn to Manana, dedicated to Q&A. I welcome everyone who joined while we were reading, and we can discuss whatever's on our hearts and minds. Oh, hello, dear G, as I speak from space. The music fits the story. It does. A little ominous. Dear Casey, yes, or Cassie, sorry, you had a question. Let me scroll up. You've been listening to me for so long, and you are in line with everything, and you have a question. What are my thoughts about this year and the beginning of this year? Can I have a word? Thank you for sharing such a question, dear Cassie. There's no doubt in my mind that we're in a period of great change. So many people are struggling as systems all around the world are causing unnecessary oppression, and people are waking up to that and protesting. All sorts of activism happening, and the world is reeling from climate change. There are tragedies, natural disasters, humanitarian crises all around the world. But there's also a great spiritual awakening happening too. As the months goes by, more and more people are familiar with basic spiritual concepts that have not been taught in our education systems, especially in the West. As the internet gets more and more connected, we are able to light up places in the world that have undergone conflict for many years. And many people are coming together and standing up for change. There's a lot of suffering to be aware of, but a lot of good things to hold hope for. Because as we increase in our awareness, we are met with higher and higher challenges as spirit souls on this planet to attend to. And I have absolute faith that we'll be able to come together and take on these challenges. It's not going to be easy, but if we can continue to have faith in ourselves and understand that if we just fulfill our small slice of the pie of responsibilities, that can be enough to be a role model to inspire others too. Remember that in adversity, hope blooms because you're not alone in terms of feeling like things need to change. And our awakening brings collective strength together. In that collectiveness, positive actions will be fueled. Even small actions have ripple effects, especially in our increasingly connected world. Oh, hello, dearest Magdalene Priyaji. Hoping everyone's heart is doing well. Me too. Thank you, dear Marcy, for the heart me you had sent earlier. Om Namah Shivaya. Dearest Alida, thank you for your heart me. Om Ganganapataye Namah. Hello, dear Tamia. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Dearest Orphic Dreams, thank you for your heart me as well. Radhe, Radhe. And Dan, how are you? Thank you for your heart me. Om Shorim Mahalakshmiyai Namah. Hello, dear Lola. Thank you, Damia. I'm grateful for your question, dear Cassie. I'm glad that it was appreciated. I'm happy to continue discussing any of those things together. And hello, dear Spinudha. I am well. How are you? At this moment, I feel very calm, grateful to be here, at peace, and hoping to extend that peace to include you all. Thank you, Hackpog. Thank you for your pair of roses. Om Kanjahnivya Namah. Hello, dear Jay. Oh, I'm always happy to be live. You share the last live stream really helped you heal, going through some stuff. May this be a healing space for you and everyone. Whatever you're going through is absolutely, whatever you're feeling from what you're going through, how you're processing that is absolutely valid. Thank you, Immortal Knight, for your rose and wishes. Peace, love, and light to all. Thank you. Wish you luck for your date later, shares Hack. Remember to just be yourself and know that your authenticity is attractive. Thank you, dearest Gina, for your heart me, and Gigi. Hari Om Tat Sat. I'm from the Philippines. How lovely. We've got a couple of Philippine viewers here. Much love to you. question of the day for you all if you're interested in exploring it together. Thank you, Sophie. Hello, dear Shakira, and thank you for your heart, me. Ram, Ram. May we create a healing atmosphere here. Embrace all our authenticities. Oh, welcome, someone with a beautifully decorated username. You'll have to teach me how to pronounce your name. Hilda Jafar. I can pronounce those two parts, whatever you prefer. Grateful to have you here. Welcome. Shakira, you share happy early Lunar New Year to you all. That's right. Lunar New Year. Very important astrological time we are in right now. We've got a Lunar New Year. What is it? Is it the full moon coming in a few days, or the new moon? I always mix those up. I haven't seen the moon in a while. And then, of course, we've got the astrological injunction of 7 planets on one side of the Earth. If you're sensitive to that stuff, then you might be feeling a lot of things. Your name is Olav. The rest is just a nickname. Oh. Nice to meet you, dear Olav. A new moon in a few days. Thank you, Axos. Yeah. Spinuta, you ask, what's my definition of smart? Well, I like that you ask for mine, as though we all have different definitions, which is so true. Although we might agree that there are dictionaries out there that we can crack open, we do all have unique experiences with what intelligence means. Of course, in the West, in recent times, we really value logical intelligence. We often reserve the title of genius for someone who's really adept in the sciences or in, logic and logical reasoning and things like that. But I think that's just one aspect of intelligence. I think to me what intelligence is the ability to discern between subtle and nuanced concepts. And that naturally happens through repeated awareness and immersion in a subject. If you immerse yourself in the sciences, naturally you'll gain a smartness in them. But if you're not immersed in them, that doesn't mean you're not intelligent. It just means you've been giving your awareness to something else. If you've really been attending to a lot of feelings throughout your life, then you might gain an intelligence in emotions. If you spend a lot of time with people, you can gain an interpersonal intelligence. If you spend a lot of time in the wilderness, you can gain a very naturalistic intelligence, a geospatial intelligence. There's all sorts of different kinds of intelligence. The Sanskrit word for the intellect is buddhi. It's actually related to the Buddha, the name for the awakened one. It comes from the root buddh, which means to understand or to awaken. It's related to all sorts of derivatives like the bodhi tree, bodhi meaning awakening or understanding, Buddha meaning the understanding one or the awakened one, and buddhi, which is the one, which is the awakener or the understander. It's the Sanskrit word for the intellect, one of the antahkaranas, the inner faculties. Just like we have outer faculties, our sense of sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, we have 5 inner faculties too. Manas, mind; buddhi, intellect; ahankara, sense of self; chitta, memory; and what's the last one? Chittakasha, just the space of consciousness, the field of consciousness. But in Sanskrit, the faculty of buddhi, what defines it, is something called viveka. Viveka is discrimination between the real and the unreal. That you are able to discern, whatever the subject may be, between what authentically and sincerely matters, is relevant, and what is not. If you have viveka, that discrimination between the real and the unreal, then you have a fully working buddhi, or intellect. That's right, dear Loopy Lane. Buddha was woke before it was a thing. And in fact, there's a famous story where the Buddha was walking and a passerby was just stunned by the presence of the Buddha. And so he asked, "Are you a man?" The Buddha said, "No." "Are you a woman?" The Buddha said, "No." "Are you an angel?" The Buddha said, "No." "What are you?" the man asked. The Buddha simply said, "I am awake. I am awake. That's all I am." And he kept going. Thank you, dear Lisa, for your trio of roses in your heart me. Om Tham Namastandaraya. And dear Regina, thank you for your heart me as well. Om Namo Buddhaya. Dear FAQ, you're wondering, what's in the background? We're listening to some deep bass meditation music. Good morning, dear Heather. Spinudha, you tend to use the word smart for revolutionary people and thoughts. You really like them in all fields. I like that. Yeah, that's a great perspective. Those are some other great types of intelligence, dear Billy. There's book smarts, street smarts, mechanical smarts, emotional intelligence, interpersonal intelligence. Yeah. I appreciate the mischief. Some mischief in the Sangha. I love that, dear Hak. You want to live life to the fullest again for today. Have fun later and appreciate everything. It's beautiful. A day late and $1 short, you ask, have I asked the question of the day yet? No, thank you for reminding me. Let me ask. Today I'm simply asking, what do you do when feeling hopeless? If anything at all. I think we've all known what it feels like, so hoping to relate in your experiences. Hope itself can be a tricky thing because it can sometimes lead to attachments, reservations that might bring us feeling despondent later. But when we are feeling hopeless, what do we do about that? You can relate with that, dear Enchantress Theodora, right now. Well, may this question bring you some understanding. Absolutely allowed to feel that way, by the way. That's valid. Immortal Night, you'd listen to meditation music with light language when you feel like that. Beautiful. Very enlightening. Fiddle Leaf, dearest Gwendolyn, you remind yourself of the things that are going well in your life. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good observation. Even in hopelessness, there's still things that we can be grateful for. One last rose for the road. Thank you, dear Hag. Om Aim Saraswatyaya Namah. Thank you, Miss Bliss, for the heart me as well. Jaya Sitaram. You're in the hospital, dear Enchantress Theodora. Well, you're in the best place to be when it comes to getting a medical care. Much better to be in a hospital when you're feeling that way than at a golf course or a McDonald's or the middle of nowhere. I pray that you get the treatment that you need. Thank you, NDN Girl, for your team bracelet. Om Som Suryaya Namah. You can see McDonald's from your hospital window. Perfect. Best of both worlds. But I wish for you lots of healing. Dear Gwendolyn, yes, you remind yourself of the things going well in your life. I really like that. Heather, you share, you go outside. You grew up on a farm. You need space. Yeah. Something so freeing about the open air. NDN Girl, you share. Grown yourself. Not sure if that's a typo. But grow yourself and hug a tree and talk to the stars. I like that sentiment, that energy there. It's beautiful. Thank you, Immortal Night, for your heart me. Dear Ragnhildur, you cry and pray. Very expressive things from the heart. Rahina, you turn inwards and find the answers there. Oh. When the outer world seems hopeless, we can turn to the inner world. Indeed. Dearest Lisa, you got a new house recently. Wow, that's a big thing. You're so happy. Thank you for sharing such big news. Shelter is a basic need. May this space be one in which you can grow and learn and love in. Decorate it as you wish. Express yourself. Share lots of moments with other people in your life. Thank you, Gwendolyn Priya, for your quartet of Dalgona candies. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. And dearest Neon Jello Pack, thank you for your quintet of finger hearts. Om Kring Kali Kaye Namah. Loopy Lane, you practice gratitude, daily gratitude awareness. What an amazing sadhana that is. Gratitude creates a sanctuary within our minds. Shakira, you let it go to God and pray. Ishwara Pranidhana. The fifth niyama. Faith in something greater than yourself to take care of the things that are out of our control. Ms. Bliss, you remind yourself what is meant to be will be, and try to be okay with that. I like that too. I'm glad you like the beautiful soundtrack, Saul. It is called Deep Bass Meditation Music. Relaxing music for complete relaxation. Sam, you shared, just cry. Yeah, crying is so healing. I'm glad you're excited, dear Lisa. Dearest Magdalene Priya, you turn to your friends. They do well at seeing you in ways that you often forget to see yourself. That's what friends are for, hey? You're not alone in that. May we celebrate our friends. and make more ourselves. Kenji, you share, we tend to disconnect ourselves from other life. Go give a tree a hug. They deserve love too, right? And we deserve to receive the love that trees have for us. Hello, dear feline. You share, Mama is not well. I understand. I wish Mama lots of healing, rest. Dearest Spinudha, you ask, what do I think about body dysmorphia? I understand that it's very difficult to really get a healthy relationship with our bodies. It's not easy, especially not in our current societies and culture. I think there might be a little bit of a spiritual lesson there, though. When we have a feeling of disconnect from our body, sometimes that can be a higher awareness of the fact that we aren't our body. But if that higher awareness isn't validated, then we can feel conflicted. You know, why is it that I'm surrounded by people that so strongly identify with their bodies, but I don't feel like mine is me? If you can follow that and validate that, I think it can lead to a very beautiful realization that you are something so much more than your body. But we have a responsibility to take care of our body. Our body is the way that we express ourselves. It's also our instrument to take care of others. So it befits us to generate a healthy relationship with it. Getting really comfortable in your own skin is an important thing that is not always easy. I think we take for granted being comfortable with what it means to have a body. It's just assumed in our societies that this is you, this is who you are. But that assumption deserves to be challenged. Thank you, NDN girl, for your 30 roses. Sorry, you have the word 30, you have the number 30 in your username. NDN girl 30 for your rose. But it feels like 30 roses. And thank you for your tiny as well. Yippee! And thank you, dear Gina, for your roses too. Radhe, Radhe. You share you're out of data. Well, if you need to conserve your data, please go do so. That's much more important than being on this live stream, but much love to you. Anyway, dearest Gina. Neon Jello Pack, your answer to our question of the day is kitty snuggles help too. I agree. Yes, I had some good kitty snuggles last night that were really, really nice. It's nice to feel like you're a safe place for another person or being, like a kitty. And hello, dear Marquis. You wish us all as much as happy serendipities as possible. Thank you. Michael, you share, the best thing you have found for yourself when you feel despondent is to try to find a way to give. I love that. What a cute observation. That helps us feel like we have enough. Counterintuitively, perhaps, we feel like maybe we need something to fill that space. But if we take what we have and distribute that, that can give us a sense of purpose, a sense of value, a sense of having enough to give. It's a nice trick. Anna, you share, this world is the only place to be right now, and luckily it's a beautiful one. There is a lot of beauty in this world. Yeah, take care of yourself too, dear feline. balance your needs. Ground yourself was your answer, dear Indian girl. Ah, that makes sense. Ground yourself and hug a tree. Gotcha. That's okay. You and your phone have a love-hate relationship. I understand. Thank you, Dob Darker, for the heart me you sent as well. Hare Krishna. And dear Hazel, thank you for your rose. Om Ham Jom So Namah Shivaya. Thank you, Kimya, for your likes on the live too. Jay, you share you're scared of crying. When you feel pain in your heart, you prefer gratitude, music, and prayer. Gratitude, music, and prayer, those are beautiful things. But I pray that you find things about your tears to be grateful for as well. I understand your worries about losing Mama, dear feline. Yeah, she's your friend, your confidant, and your mama. And she'll continue to be all those things no matter what happens. We may lose a physical connection, but not a spiritual one. We continue to learn and grow from all their love, and we can call upon them at any time. We can ask, what would they say in this situation? What would they do? How would they help me? And hello, dear internet stranger. Oh, skepticism is good, always, yeah. To answer your question, no, I don't consider myself enlightened. I consider myself a student with a long way to go, and I'm here to coexist on our shared journeys together. I have to be a good fellow classmate. Share as much as I know, as little as that may be, and learn from you at the same time. Hello, my people. You're not alone in going through something like that. When we awaken to higher things, when our awareness extends, we start to realize just how disconnected what's possible in our world from what currently is. And that can make us feel very lost, directionless. There's such a distance between that. Fortunately, that's okay. There always will be something more for us to grow into as a society, as a world, as life. That's the nature of life, to grow, to seek higher possibilities. And it's our duty to help bridge that gap in little ways at a time. Through kindness, through patience, through being a role model. And you never have to apologize for sharing the things that you're going through, dear feline. I'm happy to hold space for them too. Good Lord, you share to surrender to the present moment. Yeah, this moment is a safe moment to surrender into. Hello, dear HKY Farmer. You ask, is it ASMR today? Not today, tomorrow. ASMR Sunday will be tomorrow. Miss Bliss, you share. You got filtered and you wonder why it's weird you didn't say anything bad. Sorry about that. I know it can be frustrating. I don't know why certain messages don't come through, but seems to be pretty random. If you rephrase it in a different way, it often comes through. Loopy Lane, you're grateful the word serendipity came up, as it's a favorite word of yours. I love the word serendipity. It's not only satisfying to say, but a profound concept as well. Hello, dear Sparkles. Ray of Hope. Thank you, Squish, for your tiny. I love your name. Yahoo! Thank you for sharing, dear Ray of Hope. You share, you overeat to be honest, or sleep. Well, it's very honest and vulnerable of you. But actually, the rest and digest response is the complement to the fight or flight response. The fight or flight response is from the sympathetic nervous system, and the rest and digest response is the parasympathetic nervous system. So when your sympathetic nervous system is overactive, you can genuinely balance that with the rest and digest response of the parasympathetic nervous system. But key word is balance. Hello, dear Greg RG. You share, you hug trees, with or without hope. You're just a tree hugger. I love that. Thank you, Rusty, for the rose you sent as well. Om Braum Hanumate Namaha. Internet stranger, or internet ranger, sorry, I put an extra S in your name accidentally. You shared that a subreddit suggested cold showers and stomping your feet for grounding has worked decently. I like that. Yeah. It's funny how, even though in modern times we don't really recognize the 5 elements of earth, water, fire, air, and space to be scientifically valid, but when it comes to our own personal experience, if you engage with fire, earth, water, air, and space, it leads to very holistic moments. You know, when you're out with earth, when you're in water, when you have a nice fire, when you get some good air, and you give yourself some space. These elements make a wonderful part of our life if we can balance them too. Dearest feline, I know you are struggling to comprehend how you will survive without a loved one such as your mama. But you have to place trust in her ability to guide you even from beyond. Something very miraculous happens with our loved ones. Everyone who's lost a loved one, I'm sure, can tell you an experience of how their relationship with them continued in some way, and they adapted. Of course, the pain will always be there in some capacity, but you learn to hold more space for that, have a greater capacity. Human beings are incredibly adaptable. All of life is. In fact, that's kind of the hallmark of life, is that it changes. You look at a rock today and tomorrow it's the same rock. But you look at any person today and tomorrow and they've grown in some way. That's how you know that a person is alive and a rock is not. Hello, dear Hari. Radhe, Radhe. Thank you, dear Lavender, for your ice cream cone. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And I'm here for you, for anyone who's grieving. And there's also so many lovely mothers here that can offer their motherly love. I'm very grateful for that. Loopy Lane, you ask if I agree that we can experience moments of enlightenment. Absolutely. Yeah. Enlightenment is our natural state, of course. And when the curtains part, we do get glimpses, we do get moments. we can always get more in touch with our natural state. Thank you, Feline, for your pair of finger hearts and friendship necklace. Om Kali Maha Kali Kali Ke Parameshwari Sarvananda Kare Devi Narayani Namostute. Dear JD, you ask. By the way, thank you for exploring this question of the day with me, everyone. I sense a natural transition subject, so I'll pause it there. I will add, before answering JD's question, that one thing you can do when you're hopeless is just be hopeless. Allow yourself to feel that feeling, but don't hold on to that feeling. Hold space for it, and I think in that space you'll find it transforms. And talk to people, connect with others. So, dear JD, you ask, is it possible to meditate and cry at the same time? Absolutely, yes. 100%. In fact, you'll naturally find yourself crying the deeper you go in meditation. Shiva, the Adiyogi, the great meditator, was always crying when he meditates. And his meditative tears are what I wear around my neck. They're called Rudraksha seeds. And literally, Rudra is a name for Shiva, and Aksha means is related to the eye. So it means the tears of Shiva. Rudrakshas, which pour during his meditative ecstasy. Spinuta, you share, you're really bad at math, you hate it. Do I think you could be better? Absolutely. And by the way, I have so much love for math, as many of you know, but I was never good at math, in the sense that if you gave me like a mental math problem, a calculation, I'd probably get it wrong. I never even got good grades in my math classes, but I loved math and I could talk at end with mathematical concepts. The difference to me is that there's what we call computational or algorithmic math, which is more problem solving. And to me, that's not real math. Real math isn't just calculating numbers and multiplying massive digit numbers together and solving equations. To a mathematician, their days are mostly filled exploring worlds of possibilities. They're actually coming up with problems. That's what's fascinating to a mathematician, is the creation of possibilities to explore, rather than actually crunching data. And the crunching data is not intuitive for 99% of the human population, including mathematicians. That's why we have calculators and graphing software and programs to do that for us. So if you're interested in math, don't worry so much about your abilities to solve algorithms and be a number cruncher. Just be explorative and be curious in the world of geometry and set theory and topology, and just have a sense of wonder to these otherworldly dimensions. And if you keep that kind of love for it, it doesn't matter if you're good at it. So, understanding that difference between the applied math, which is usually always boring, at least to me anyway, and difficult, and theoretical math, which is exploratory and also difficult, but fun, and in a way that there is no right answer. And you don't have to know how to handle the situation that you'll go through, dear feline. It's okay. You're thinking about the future, but just think about what you can do now. You still have mama in your life. Connect at that level. take care of her, be receptive to her love in other ways. If you can just attend to what's here now, then the next moment will be easier to take care of itself. Dear FID, you start to pity yourself so much. Then here Ramdas says, milk that drama, baby. And gets lighter. I love that. Yeah, it's a great addition to the question of the day we had. I'm a little behind in the comments. I'm in the past relative to you, but I'm catching up slowly. Thank you, dear Hazel, for the friendship necklace that you sent to. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. And dearest Lori, thank you for your tiny friendship necklace and finger heart. Om Som Somaya Namah. Okay, let me speed up catching up to the present moment. Dear Marquis, you share you find it hard sometimes to find things to be grateful for in this dire times. That's understandable. Just think small. Are you grateful for your breath, that you woke up and your eyes worked today? You still got 2 feet that can take you places, 2 hands. I don't know, maybe you happen to only have 1 foot. Or your vision is different than what I assume. But whatever it may be in your life, whatever senses you have, whatever things in your life that are small on a day-to-day basis, if you practice being grateful for those things, it makes a big difference. You can be grateful for the earth still being there, for the sun not having exploded yet. Little things like that. But it's good to be aware of the problems in the world. It helps us empathize, hold space for what other people are going through too. Hello, dear Adam. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Thank you, Eric, for the rose and finger heart, or feline. I know you preferred me to call you that. Hari Om Tat Sat. Yeah, sometimes not all comments come through a day late and $1 short. I'm sorry for that. Not my doing, I'm afraid. I don't actually have the power to remove comments, so if yours somehow disappeared after you sent it or no one seemed to respond to it, please note that I would never do that. Thank you, Julia. Dear hashtag, you ask, do I think we're close to AGI, artificial general intelligence, or are we more than 10 to 15 years away from it? I think we already have it. To be honest, I see a kind of universal intelligence already there in our models. You just have to understand how to bring it out. That's where the world of prompt engineering comes in. Just with us humans too, we have everything we need in order to apply our experiences to whatever problem may be at hand. We just need to know the right methodology in order to bring out our experiences. Dear John, you share you had lost a loved one today. 3 actually. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't send friend requests on this platform, but you're welcome to join the community. There's a Discord server, or message me on other platforms like Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, or even email. All of that's linked in the link tree in my bio. Spinuda, you asked, what is love for me? Love for me is just pure awareness, unconditional awareness, understanding, openness, and everything exists within that. That's understandable, dear Tracelian. Feeling hopeless, finding yourself not washing, eating, and generally enjoy being unhygienic. Well, you're not alone. That's a very common executive dysfunction, possibly a symptom of depression, although I do not have any qualifications to diagnose by any means. It's good to take care of your mental health. And if you need someone to help you with that, I know it can be embarrassing, but sharing what you're going through with another person can be a vulnerability that others can empathize with and relate to, and they might have some tips and techniques to help you with that. It is important that we take care of our bodies and minds, even if you don't really have the energy why, or understand why, given all the other feelings that you might be having difficult processing. It just serves as a good foundation and basis to structure your day with something. Some routine can be really helpful. Kenji, you share you're self-aware about why you feel hopeless or depressed, but can't seem to figure out how to get out of it. That's okay. You're allowed to be where you are in life at this moment. Awareness is a wonderful thing, but if it comes with any self-judgment or criticism, maybe let go of that, because the best thing we can do for ourselves to go forward is accept where we are right now and love ourselves just where we are. Internet Ranger, you share for you to become more still, you definitely have to let go of your calculations and sense of intellect. That makes sense. There's definitely a place to let go of logic. Not everything can be sieved through binaries and rationality. Some things we have to leave open to other faculties. Qualia, especially feelings of wonder. Intellect has its place though, for sure. Michelle, you share you've been helping your sister study for her math exam, but you're finding it hard to explain properly. It's a whole other language, that's for sure, but you're a wonderful sister. Namaskaram, dear Stevie G. Glad you like the music tonight, dear Muse. The question of the day was about what you do when you're feeling hopeless. Spinudha, you share your suffering finding a definition for love. Is it more like wanting a thing? I suffer too trying to find a definition for love, so I've given up. Now I understand love to be definitionless, as there's nothing that can truly put it into words. Greg RG, you share you practice gratitude just to keep from drowning in dread. You say thank you to breath, the sky, the trees. Yeah, I love that. And computational intelligence is another kind of consciousness, just taking another shape. Ikerdelic, you wonder if my real name is Yam. Almost. Just one more letter. You add an L onto it. That's what my mom named me, Liam. Liam spelled with a Y. So Yam is kind of abbreviation of my name, a nickname based on my real name. I like that observation, Hyperdelic. Being hygienic is fun at times. bath time can be fun, right? Get yourself a little rubber ducky, some bubbles, some action figures, maybe a squirt gun. Or you can light a candle and, although I don't personally drink, I know some people enjoy having a glass of wine and just relaxing, soaking in a bath. If that motivates you to wash yourself, that's a great thing to do. But be careful not to fall asleep in the tub. Oh, you meant being unhygienic is fun sometimes, dear hiker. Oh, well, I see the truth in that also. Yeah, rolling around in the dirt is also a little good for you. All sorts of benefits we get from not being sterile. Especially as children. I like your equation for love, dear Internet Ranger. Acceptance, spaciousness, and respect equals love. Marquis, you ask if we can do a gratefulness meditation. I love that. Yeah. Let's end with that tonight in a little bit. Yeah, we all know what it's like to experience traits of depression, dear hiker. We can all empathize with each other in that space. Muse, you share your mental health didn't start to improve until you found this community. Not to sound cheesy. Well, I can't take credit for that, but the community has been a wonderful addition to my life, and I do see many people benefiting from it, like yourself. And all of that was already within you. Maybe you just had a space for it to be brought out. And I really value mental health here, and I'm so grateful to hear that. Even better in that way. You are a bit of a drama queen, Sky Guardian, but we love you. Muse, you share when you feel hopeless, you give up and take a nap. Try again later. I like that. Stevie G, you went on a nature walk today. Lovely. And you not only had a staring contest with 2 deer, but saw a hawk. I like that. How fun. You're like a Disney princess. Miss Bliss, you share, get a dog. Then you'll understand love. I like that. Dogs can be great companions, sources of love and receivers of love. Well, thank you, dear Alice. Nice to have you here too. Hello, Perry. Michelle, you share, I am love. You are love. We're all love. And thank you for the follow, Perry. Thank you for sharing the live, Lena. Rusty, you love bathroom time. Sea salt and candle, yeah. My mom too. She makes it into a bit of a temple. You're a bath soaker too, dear Gary. Thank you, Storm Hunter. Michelle, you share that self-care releases oxytocin, which helps with self-love. The love hormone, I think they call it. Happy to hold space for you, dear Rhiannon Clark. Hello, Crossfires. Perry, you shared, tell you a good thing that happened today. A good thing that happened today is that, let's see. When I got up this morning, I had conversation with many people. I realized the value of seeing the good in other people's intentions and honoring that, even if their actions might not be so favorable. One way of resolving things can be just honoring the good intention and then providing an alternative. I had a deepening of that experience today, which is good. You're definitely getting a dog now, dear Rhiannon. I love that for you. You are indeed a Disney princess, DVG. And there we go. I've made it back to the present moment in the comment section. There's a lot of comments to go through. Thank you for your patience, everyone. All right, now I wanted to do a little segment. Let me transition scenes to another episode of Ruminations. Here we are. Let's continue where we left off, reading Ghazals, a selection of poetry from the Sufi mystic Rumi. This poem's called Like Sunlight Upon the Earth. I am from you, and at the same time, you have devoured me. I melt in you, since through you I froze. You squeeze me with your hand, and then you step on me with your foot. This is how the grape becomes wine. You cast us like sunlight upon the earth, and our light passing through the body as if it were an open window to our source, returns purified to you. Whoever sees that sun says, she is alive. And whoever sees only the window says, she is dying. He has veiled our origin in that cup of pain and joy. Within our core we are pure, and the rest is dregs. Source is the soul of souls, Shams, the truth of Tabriz. 100 hearts are afire for you. Let's read one more. This poem's called Buy Me From My Words. There's a footnote that I'll read first for context, as it mentions Layla and Majnun. These are mythic lovers of Persian literature when you hear them mentioned. Majnun was crazy with his love, and Layla, though not particularly beautiful to others, was totally beautiful to Majnun. So with that, let me read it. Before now I wanted to be paid for what I said, but now I need you to buy me from my words. The idols I used to carve charmed everyone. Now I'm drunk on Abraham and tired of idols. An idol with no color or scent ended my whole career. Find someone else for the job. A happy madman without a thought. I have swept the shop clean. If something enters my mind, I say, leave. You're a distraction. Whatever is coarse and heavy, I destroy. Who should be with Layla? Someone who can be Majnun. The man holding up this waving flag actually belongs to the other side. You know what, let me read one more because I'm just addicted to Rumi. It's called This Marriage. May these vows and this marriage be blessed. May it be sweet milk. This marriage like wine and halva. May this marriage offer fruit and shade like the date palm. May this marriage be full of laughter, our every day a day in paradise. May this marriage be a sign of compassion, a seal of happiness here and hereafter. May this marriage have a fair face and a good name. an omen as welcome as the moon in a clear blue sky. I am out of words to describe how spirit mingles in this marriage. All right, we'll pause our reading of the pocket Rumi there for now. Thank you. With that poem, may we reflect on blessings for love and unity. Find the sweetness and joy embodied in the sacred union of marriage, of all shapes and forms. Celebrate compassion in every moment. Fill our hearts with laughter and pause for reflection and gratitude. Thank you. That has been another episode of Ruminations. Glad you liked that. You want your marriage to be like that, dear Rhiannon? It's wonderful. And in case you didn't know, Rumi was talking about his marriage with God. He saw himself as married to the divine, which I just love. I think that's so beautiful. Dearest Grandma Farah, you asked, can a guru get married? Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe a better question, a revealing question to complement yours would be, can someone who happens to be married also be a guru? Can they also have spiritual teachings and have students? Of course. Yeah, there are many of them. There is a difference, however, between sannyasis and grihasis, between renunciates and householders. A sannyasi, someone like a swami, takes the vow to be married to the divine, and that includes excluding themselves from physical marriage. But a grihasi, there have been many grihasi gurus, like Ramakrishna Paramahansa. He was a great householder. He had a wife, and actually he treated his wife as the divine. He would even worship her sometimes. He would say, please, can you sit down? I want to put a garland of flowers around you. I'm going to pretend that you are the divine mother to me, and I'm going to treat you as my murti, my divine form, and I'll do all my mantras for you. And vice versa. And then he would sit in meditation, and she would go, my beloved, I'm going to treat you as the divine, and honor you, take care of you, offer flowers at your feet and things like that. So yeah, there have been many beautiful examples of gurus who had romantic partners. Thank you, dear hybrid Jen, for your heart meet. Om Vasudevaya Namah. Internet Ranger, you ask, what got me on the path of soul searching? I think it's the nature of our soul to be searchers. We were always seeking. It's just I didn't realize what I was seeking for until university, and I realized that it was ultimately my higher self. Dearest Mooney, you ask, do I have any hopes for my own marriage? I live day by day, really, and at this moment I have not closed any doors to anything in my life, and I am open to many different things. I'm constantly deepening my connection to the divine, and I have fallen in love with the divine. But that same divinity exists within each other, and so I wouldn't blame myself if I fell in love with that divinity within anyone either. Oh, that's another great example, Stevie G. Sadhguru was married, and Muji as well. Yes, Swami Gurus are married to God, absolutely. Grihasi gurus may be married to God in the form of a human being, as they treat their beloved as a gateway to the divine. Dear Grandma Fairy, you share that Lily was almost named Rumi. Oh, how lovely that is. I'm glad you like the reading, Dansuela. Nice to see you pop in. Stevie G, you would say you want a relationship like that, but you don't know anymore. That's okay. Just be open to whatever. No need to be searching for anything like that. Just continue with your purpose in life, your higher purpose, and whatever comes along the way, may you use that as part of your journey to fulfill your purpose. A partner is not the objective goal in life, but someone who is a companion along your spiritual journey, should they arise. And if they go, you haven't lost out on love. Everything that comes and goes is certainly meant to be, and we can use all experiences to deepen our path. Oh, that's a great quote, dear Spinudha. You share a quote from Rumi. I am not this hair, I am not this skin, I am the soul that lives within. I love that. Dearest Virgo, you ask, do I think a physical revolution is coming? Maybe. I can't be certain, of course, but there is many revolutions that are already ongoing. Spiritual ones, for sure. Whatever comes forward from our current events, I pray that they follow the 5 Yamas, that we go forth with ahimsa, least harm, satya, honesty, truthfulness, vulnerability, brahmacharya, reserving energy for higher things beyond material goals, aparigraha, non-hoarding of resources, and asteya, non-taking what isn't offered. In other words, using what we have already. And of course, that'll be balanced by the niyamas, like saucha, purity, cleanliness, santosha, contentment, gratitude, tapas, discipline, spiritual austerity, svadhyaya, self-reflection, humility, study, and ishvara pradhina, or ishvara pranidhana, having faith in something greater than ourselves. Thank you, Jeanette. This is my passion, indeed, here. Let me transition back to Manana for a few minutes, and then I want to end with a meditation shortly. Dear Muse, you are married happily. I'm so happy to hear that. Though you wish you had sought for spiritual enlightenment before marriage, that's okay. No time like the present. Householders can still get enlightened, in case you're worried. Enlightenment isn't restricted for the lifetime of renunciation. The purpose of renunciation is not exclusive to enlightenment, but simply for being a selfless servant on the stage of the world, so that your aspirations are not limited to any place or form, for example. You know, it's like you spend a lifetime being fully dedicated to traveling the world and helping people and creating institutions for change and supporting them. That's the purpose of sannyasi, of renunciation. The purpose of grihasi is not less than being a householder, creating a family or sharing something with another human being. It's just a different way to spend this life. They're both equally valid, and we need both grihasis and sannyasis in this world. Both can reach enlightenment in their respective lifetimes. Stevie G, you ask, how does one gain the ability to just see the divine as your lover? You want that, but you don't know how. Practice. Practice in your prayers speaking to the divine as your lover, just like Rumi. And then practice. Practice in your prayers speaking to the divine as your lover, just like Rumi. And then allow me to wait until my connection has returned. Please let me know when my connection is back. Hi, thank you, Melinda. Yeah. Try speaking to the divine as your lover and observe how intense the emotions are. If you notice an outpour of emotion unlike anything other, then maybe you've discovered that you really do have the heart of a bhakta, a loving devotee. Yeah, just like Rumi pours his heart out to the divine. We did the question of the day. Don't worry, dear Stevie G. Exactly, dear faithful being. Having faith in that which is greater than ourselves is still having faith in us, because we are part of that which is greater indeed. Dearest Jeanette, you ask, from which star or planet am I? Oh, absolutely Earth. Yeah. No, I am from Mother Earth. She is my mother. I am her son. Hello, dear hyperfixations. Dear Spinuda, you ask, do I think animals meditate? Definitely. Just look at the spider at the scent of the web, just sensing vibrations, immersed in that field of awareness. That is meditation. We can learn so much from animals. In fact, animals meditate more than we do, because we're filled with all these worldly responsibilities. For an animal, they might not have their days filled with such things, so there's times where they just sit. They just sit, they be in nature. They're constantly in meditation, in fact. Dear Mooney, you wonder, what was the question of the day? It was, what do you do when you feel hopeless? And everyone's welcome to give their answer on the recording of this live stream, even if you miss it. Of course, the comment section on YouTube are much bigger too, so you can pause there and spend a lot of time giving your answers. If you want to, of course, never expected. We'll be bringing the Sangha to a close in a half an hour or so, within a half an hour or so. Dearest No Signal, you ask, what advice would I give a guy that has hit the bottom because it feels like you just keep falling, you know? Best thing about the bottom is the only way is forward is up. No way. The only way forward is up. The only way to go now is up. You know what I mean. You can only go up when you were at the bottom. Feeling like you're at the bottom is actually a grace. It's a virtue on the spiritual path. I constantly feel like I am the most fallen soul, and it helps me look up because I see how much higher I have to go still. In the world, it's just the reverse. In the world, we have to be grateful for everything we've done. We have to be proud of our journey so far. But in the inner world, in the spirit, it's so good to feel like we haven't done anything at all, and that still our destiny is ready for ours to carve out. So if you can separate those two things, have confidence in the world, being proud for what you've done thus far in the world, but in spirit have that humility, then that balance is a beautiful thing. Feel like you're on top of the world, but in the bottom of spirit, and you shall succeed. Grandma Fairy, you spoke with someone from India, from work, and he's Hindu, and showed me on YouTube, and he was amazed. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Well, that's a good sign. I must not be disrespecting his culture, at least, or tradition. I try my best not to, at least. Grandma Fairy, you say your mantra when hopeless. That's a beautiful thing to do. Stevie G, you share when you feel hopeless, you just start saying powerful, positive affirmations. I like that. And Mooney, when you feel hopeless, you then feel ready for change, oddly. I love that. Yeah. Faithful Being, you share the only way that's left to go forward, which is up. Isn't that right? Back up for a second. Wow, I like that. Very clever. Happy to make you smile, dear No Signal. I believe in you. When we feel like everything we've done so far hasn't worked, that self-reflection can be a very transformative experience. We can let go of a lot of things that no longer serve us. Grandma Fairy, you shared, your work colleague said, my Sanskrit is spot on. Yippee! Oh, I love Sanskrit. Mooney, you just hate the grieving of change. Or sometimes it's lonely being the only one that can see a bigger picture. That's understandable. It's important to be validated in our awareness and find people that have similar visions. Thank you, Star Girl. I know what that feels like. Yeah. Much love to you. Faithful Being, you clarify, sometimes it's okay to feel bad. Every feeling has a purpose to guide you in the right direction. I love to see the positivity and wisdom in all of you. Alright, this has been a wonderful Sangha thus far. I wanted to end with a meditation, a guided meditation. So let me transition scenes. Today I've left my guided meditation open. So if there's something in particular that you wanted for us to meditate, now would be the time. Someone mentioned meditating on the feeling of hopelessness. Wait, let me get water, shares Stevie G. On protection, I like that, dear Magdalene Priya. Yeah. Okay. I'll take a couple of things. I don't want to make it too complicated. gratitude, safety. I like these. I think these are all very complementary themes. Guidance, peace. Okay. Hope, protection, gratitude, safety, guidance, peace. Sounds good. Locking it in. Community. For this meditation, find a position that's comfortable for you. If you need to rearrange your bodily position into something that's sturdy but comfortable, this would be the moment to do so. As always, we'll connect with our breath as our buffer to begin our meditation with. Inhaling deeply, we invite the newness of this moment. And exhaling relaxingly, we let go of any tensions from the previous. Repeating this natural cycle in a way your body feels is best. May each breath be one that deepens your sense of comfort, safety, relaxation, and rest, not just for your body, but for your mind too. We'll take a few moments to just breathe together before exploring the concepts of today's meditation. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, loosen up your face muscles, your abdomen, and bring a slight smile to your face. If you are feeling any sense of hopelessness at this time, please know that you're absolutely valid in feeling that. I validate your vision for how your life could be, your friends' lives, your families, your communities, your cities, your countries, our world. We don't come into this world with anything from it. Not even a body which we have to borrow from it and return at some point. But we do come with something from another world, from our spiritual world. We come with hope. We come with ideas. We come with aspirations. We come with visions. As children, we were taught to call it our imagination. When our imagination doesn't match what we see as possible in this world, you can feel conflicted. And after growing up from a small child to a young adult, to whatever point in life you may be, You might feel like your imagination has become a burden because you see the disconnect between what is and what could be. You know that if we just came together as people, we can create change. We already have done so in many ways, but there's so much more left to do. And we live in an age of hyperconnectivity. Something happens around the world. You might know of it only in a few moments. We share the pain of the whole world now, and that's a privilege. It's a privilege to be aware of what others go through. Privilege to not be alone in that suffering. It's a privilege we offer to others. So you are absolutely valid in your awareness, your inclusive sense of self for the whole planet and all of life. If that resonates with you, send that into your system. Bring that validation in to affirm that you are allowed to have this vision, this awareness, this attentiveness to what you and others are going through. Let your own breath affirm that in your system. During such uncertain times, it's easy to feel lost. It's easy to feel scared, afraid. You might have worries, anxieties, heck, even existential dilemmas on what it even means to be alive. You're not alone in that, and you'll never be alone in that. That's the most universal experience there is. Because every single being that has ever been, now, past, and future, knows what it's like to be faced with a situation that makes you uncomfortable. And of course, life's survival mechanisms brings a sense of cautiousness, concern, carefulness to the preciousness of this life. That can often be expressed through fears, worries. Because of such a universal experience, may you find brotherhood, sisterhood, motherhood in that connection we share. May we link up with like-minded people and open our hearts to each other's protection. Just as we know we would be there for someone who's going through a similar experience as we are, may we be receptive to that which others offer too. May there be solace in that community. And know that there isn't just an accidental nature of life, but a very meant to be one, which is part of a life force that pervades the whole of the universe. For we are the universe awakened to itself. That higher self, which we are but a part and parcel of, is looking after us, just as we look after all the parts and parcels of ourself. Just as you would want all the cells in your body to know that you care for them equally. You are like a cell in a much bigger organism called Ishvara in Sanskrit, the being of the universe. And Ishvara takes care of each cell. Some cells have their own individual journeys to go on. They're always changing. The challenges that we go through are not necessarily a sign of being lost and forgotten in this universe, but actually being guided by an energy, by a life force that knows just what we need in order to awaken, evolve, grow, heal, learn. Notice that you're still here. No matter what you've gone through, your heart is still beating at this moment. Something in you continues to live. And you're still you after all this time. In fact, after everything you've gone through, you're even more in touch with yourself than ever before. Even when it doesn't feel like it, you are stronger. You are more experienced. You have a greater sense of patience and compassion, understanding, empathy. Can you see how all that you've gone through has made you into a beautiful possibility, reflecting the light this world has to offer? You're so hard on yourself, but you don't need to be, because you are love, you are loved, and you are loving. If that resonates with you, breathe in that sense of divine providence, protection from the greater self that we all share. And let go of any doubts in yourself that you won't be able to make it. You will. I know it is so. Everyone is here for a reason. If you can see the meaning and purpose in another person's life, why shan't that be a reflection of your own? You know how much your friends and loved ones are meant to be here. Like attracts like in that way. They see the same for you, even if it goes unexpressed. We are constantly being nurtured in every interaction. We have a divine mother that knows that to find our wings, sometimes we have to fall from the nest. She's carefully calculated the elevation and placed her nest up high so that you have ample time to stretch out your wings and fly. The graciousness of our mama bird, Divine Mother, she has helped us fall into a pit that is the safest of any kind, a bottomless pit. Because only in a bottomless pit is there no need to fear hitting the bottom. You may feel yourself falling. You may ask yourself, why me? At times it seems like we sink lower and lower in our faculties. But it's the bottomlessness of it that should bring you hope. Because no matter how far you sink, the mama bird is watching, waiting for you to stretch out your wings. Find a steady elevation, and then climb, rise, higher and higher. Just as there is no depth to how far one can fall, there is no height that can limit your ascension. You've got infinite space. Infinite time. No rush. We will take care of this planet. We have to. We will take care of each other. We have to. The soul has existed long before this body has. It will continue to. Even the lessons we don't complete in this lifetime are not going to dictate our ability to have solved them next time. We always have another chance. So, breathe. And if you wonder how to know if something is really true or not, just ask yourself, if it were true, would it bring you peace? Real peace that doesn't hide other things under the rug, such that if something else were to become within our awareness, that peace would suddenly go. A genuine kind of peace that you know would be unshakable. If the answer to that is yes, then that is a sign of truth. Yes, there are uncomfortable truths, but only lowercase t. The highest truth, capital T, is the most comforting thing in the universe. Because truth is that which completes you, our source, our home, our natural state. If it does not bring peace, it must not be absolute truth. This is the defining quality. This is your map, your legend, your description that helps you find truth. Is that which upon realizing relieves you of any fear or misunderstandings. Follow your truth. Thank you. We'll pause close our meditation there for now. But I'm grateful that you had a chance to meditate with me. All meditations are but a continuation of the last. I look forward to meditating with you next time. That concludes our Nididhyasana, the final portion of the Sangha. Genuine peace embraces all truths. Seek that unshakable peace within. Find that comfort on all deep levels. But honor the fact that even in discomfort, we grow. Thank you to those who sent a gift while we were meditating. Dear Inevitable, thank you for your trio of roses. Satnam. Satnam to you too, dear Sandra. Isabella, thank you for your trio of roses. Om Arm Arlam Ashwini Bhyam Namah. Dearest Usha Priyaji, thank you for your flowers. Om Sadhyo Jatam Prapadyami Sadhyo Jataya Vai Namo Namah. Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave Bhavaswabham Bhavod Bhavaya Namah. Thank you, dear Grandma Fairy. Oh, you're very welcome, Dansuela. Thank you for participating. Neon Jello Pack, thank you for your good night. Om Vamadevaya Namo Jeshtaya Namah Shrishtaya Namo Rudraya Namah Kalaya Namah Kalavikarnaya Namo Balaya Namo Balavikarnaya Namo Balapramatanaya Namah Sarva Bhuta Damanaya Namo Manon Manaya Namah. Dear Feline, thank you for your rose and pair of finger hearts and a friendship necklace. Om Aghorebhyo Ta Ghorebhyo Aghora Ghore Dharebhya Sarvatha Sarva Sarvebhyo Namaste Rudra Rubebhya. Thank you, dear Jocelyn, for your quintet of roses. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudraf Prachodayat. Thank you, Usha Priyaji, for another septet of roses and trio of tiny Yahoo! And Gina, thank you for your pair of roses. Om Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Brahma Dipati Brahmano Dipati Or Brahma Shivo Me Astu Sa Eva Sada Shiva Om. Good night, dear Michelle. Thank you, Tatwamasi, for your trio of roses. Om Namah Karim Ambita Me Shorim Nadita Me Harim Devita Me Aim Sarasvatyai Swaha. I will echo your words, dear Dansuela. Thank you everyone for the Sangha. You are all so dear to my heart. Much love to you all. Stevie G, you share the guided meditations are a bit hard for you to sit through and focus upon. That's okay. You don't have to focus per se, but just you're allowed to fidget with something. By the way, all the best yogis have something to fidget with. Right now, I'm fidgeting with these manjira. You think you want to vote on a breath work next time? Sounds good. We can do pranayama next time. Dearest, sorry, I missed. Where'd you go? Dearest Rhiannon Clark, you started the first paragraph of your book listening to that meditation. Oh, lovely. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to my lovely moderators for helping keep the peace here. Know that this live stream will be uploaded to my Yamsox Lives YouTube channel, as well as the meditation and the readings there in their own playlists. May this live stream be an offering to the divinity within you. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to the light, from death to deathlessness. Om. May there be peace in us, may there be peace in our environment, and may there be peace in the forces that act on us. If there's anything I can do to make this space more inclusive next time, for you or for others, let me know. Please hold me accountable. Make sure I'm a humble host. Until next time, may you have a wonderful rest of your night, your afternoon, your evening, your morning, whatever time it is for you. May you have a wonderful rest of your present moment. Namaste, and happy Lunar New Year, I believe.